Okay, here we have a Gateway 2000 P5-90, and they have the Dallas clock chips that are notorious for, of course, dying, which is normal, but what they're notorious for is the fact that they're soldered in. And so there's one right there, soldered in. So you can get lucky, and sometimes you get one where it's not soldered in, and there's actually a little base that it clips onto, and you could just remove the top. But it looks like I got unlucky with this one. This one's soldered in. You can see it says Dallas right there, upside down. So I'm gonna have to desolder this, which is gonna be a pain. I'm not good with soldering at all. But what's funny is sometimes with this chip, when it dies, it's not just a regular CMOS where it just provides the clock. It actually has important motherboard functions. Now in this case, the computer boots, but for some reason these, the PS2 ports, which this one does have, are not working. Like, I'm not getting like enough power. Like, the lights flicker on this keyboard, but that's all I'm getting. So here, let's go ahead and turn it on. And let me show you the screen, and then I'll show you the lights on the keyboard. So I'm turning it on, everything boots up, nice. Okay, keyboard mouse detected, so it detects them. There we go. Memory size decrease. I don't know what that is about. I did remove one of the memory slots and put it back in, so maybe I didn't fully sit it in correctly. But you can see CMOS battery died, or failed, sorry. CMOS, and again, it's not really a CMOS battery, it does more than that. Press F1 for setup. So here's the keyboard I have plugged in. There are no lights on the keyboard. No lights, and so the keyboard doesn't work. Let me show you what the keyboard does. So you can see it flashes. I'm hitting the caps lock button right now and hitting F1 at the same time. You can see it says entering setup, please wait. So it looks like it registered the F1 key, and then it gets stuck. Oh. Yeah, and then it's stuck. So I was just hitting the caps lock to show you that it was lighting up, but then nothing, and now the keyboard just dies after it gets past the CMOS setup. So it's weird. It says entering setup, please wait. Fails the CMOS, then won't boot. When I bought the computer, the seller did show it boot into Windows 95, and he said that Windows 95, it came pre-installed with Windows 95. So there's a hard drive in there, and he showed a picture of it booted. And I asked him, I said, how did you boot in with the CMOS clock chip, Dallas clock chip battery dead? He goes, oh, you don't need a, you could still boot into Windows or into the BIOS with the dead CMOS. I said, yes, that's universally true, but usually for these, it won't allow you to boot. All right, I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, magically hitting escape got the key, got it to start Windows 95. Let's see if it starts. I was just constantly hitting caps lock to keep, I guess, the keyboard on, and then hitting escape as much as I could. And it looks like we're in. The question is the keyboard working? So the keyboard, I don't know what's wrong. That PS2 port may be bad, but I'm stuck in caps lock. Let's see if I can, oh, the keyboard's working, oh, okay, there we go. Now the keyboard's working. All right, so we're booted into Windows. Let me grab the mouse. Oh, I gotta untangle it. Excuse me. Try to clean so it's a little messy. And the mouse is moving. We are officially in Windows 95. Let's open up a Word document. Let's just do a quick keyboard test. I gotta realign the monitor, but that's not a problem. Yep, the keyboard is working. So it's weird how in the BIOS it just glitches out. Can I? Yep, everything seems to work. Windows key works. Caps lock is working. Everything looks good. Alright, I'll keep you guys updated. So I gotta replace the CMOS or the Dallas clock chip. Again, it does more than a traditional CMOS. So I guess I'll have to update you guys on that. Of course, I'll try to record it as I'm doing it. Okay, I figured I'd check these. So he said that one of the floppy disk drive, or he said the CD drive wasn't working. It is blinking a light, and then he said this 250 megabyte drive he couldn't detect. There's nothing in there, or one of these drives he couldn't detect. Is it this one? Okay, this is the CD drive. Let's see if it ejects. Okay, so it doesn't want to open, and I just need to clean it. That's the thing. A lot of the times with these, you just need to clean it, but it is blinking, so it is showing power. Let's see with these up top here. Is there anything in here? Okay, it looks like there's nothing in there. Yeah, there's nothing in there, but the buttons seem to be working. Let's check this. Sorry about the blinking. Let's see if I can... You can see this light's working. This light is not on. I don't think there's anything in here. I checked it. Something may be going on with this one. CD drive I need to check. Alright. Keep you guys updated. Okay, the disk randomly opened, so I guess I'll clean it while it's open. But it just randomly opened. There we go. A lot better. Alright, so I'm going to be changing the RAM. So this has 16 gigs, 4 DIMMs, 4 gigs on each DIMM. And this is how the RAM looks like. All of them are occupied. I just want to show you the layout for these two. So this one's angled this way. And once you unhook these little pins, I mean, this is really hard. You got to unhook these 2 little pins on the side. Then you need 2 hands to do this. It flips like that, and then you could slide it out. So these ones go this way, and then you push in to lock them in the pins. And then this one's the reverse. This one you gotta go the other way. Push each pin on each side out. They're very hard to get to. Yeah, I'm gonna need another hand. And this one pulls out and slides up. So these are how these look like. The ones that I got were sort of double on each stick. So this is 64. So these are technically 2. This is 16. This is 16. And this is really just 8. So hopefully this works. I don't know if they're compatible or not. This is the one that I got right here. 64 megs. Both these are 64. No, I'm sorry. This is 128 megs, which I think which is the maximum on this board. I'm 99% sure about that. So these are 128 megs. I'm going from 16 to 128. Let's go ahead and install them. I don't know the order. It says here J3J1, J3H1, J3G1, and J3F. So F, G. This one. Why is that one shorter? Alright, so let's do this. Put it in this way and then clip it up. Those two should be in. So let's see if it boots. Another thing I'm learning is that the PS2 ports are not hot swappable. So that issue with the PS2 port just went away magically. So it just magically the ports are just working now. Before they weren't working. Let me just screw these in a little bit. Okay, I believe this one is the keyboard. Although I don't know, I don't think it matters. Okay, this is the mouse. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and boot this up. Let's see if it recognizes everything. Oh, gotta plug the power in. Okay, power is in. Let's see. Power's on. Should probably turn off my flashlight, but I already started recording. There's a little scratch right there. This monitor is really nice. Okay. Detected. Nice. Memory size decrease. You see, I don't know why it's showing that, but I guess that's not actually a problem with the memory. Let's go ahead and hit escape. You see, now it works. It actually listens, recognizes my beep, and boots me right into Windows. Does anybody know how to fix the boot up screen? For me, the boot up screen is always wonky in terms of its alignment. The main Windows aligns right, just the boot up screen is all wonky. So if anybody knows how to fix that, let me know. Again, I really apologize. The flickering, it is annoying. Okay, so let's go ahead and... I thought I got rid of this toolbar. Okay. Right-click, properties. Oh, it's only recognizing one DIMM. 32 megs. So I gotta see if there's any... Yeah, there's probably a mistake or something not installed correctly. It's only seeing 32. And I know that I think Windows 95, or generally this computer, can reach up to 128, so... Wait a second. This actually should be 64 megs. Unless I gotta enter into the BIOS. Let's try to enter into the BIOS. See, I don't know why I booted it into Windows. Let's go ahead and enter into the BIOS. And check. So it's only recognizing 32. You see, this is also new. I didn't know computers did this, where you have to, it's now safe to shut off your computer, then you have to manually click this. And this button is like an automatic shut off. It's not like a power button where if you click it, this thing, when you click it, just cuts off power to the whole computer. All right, let's see what the screen says. Let's see if I can get into the setup. I believe the setup is F1. Entering setup F1. Let's see if it'll allow me to get into the setup. F1 for setup. I hit F1. You know, I might not even be able to get into the F1. So it made that beep. Yep, and now it's not doing anything. The keyboard's not doing anything. All right, let's try this again. Hit reset. Let's just wait for this. You see, it's only recognizing 32 megs. I didn't see that in the beginning. Okay, let's hit F1. F1 not doing anything. Oh, maybe? No. It won't even let me get into the setup. Maybe that's the issue I was having before, where I was hitting F1 instead of escape. Because you see now, and now it's too late to hit escape. If I hit escape F1, nothing happens. So let's hit reset again. I'll try to reinstall the RAM one more time. if I hit escape, it should boot into Windows, no problem. You see that? Boots into Windows, no problems. All right, let me just shut it off. And let's try fiddling around with this RAM. I also got a CF card, 2 gigs, that I might move or clone that, whatever that hard drive is, onto here. I don't know the size of that hard drive. I should probably check, but hopefully it's just under 2 gigs, so I could use this, because that hard drive is gonna go. I mean, it's running really smoothly now, but of course I just don't want to risk it. And of course, to use it, I got this, which is this little adapter that converts the compact flash into, I believe, IDE with power. Another thing that came in the mail was my sound card, which, again, this computer did not come with at all. So here's the sound card. It has, excuse the noises outside, sorry. Line out, speaker out. I don't know what that says. MON, something in, and then line in. So we'll see how we could use this. It is a Creative Labs. I'm not sure exactly what the model is. Creative Labs CT2502. All right. And I was wondering what this loose cable is right here. I saw this loose cable, and this was coming out of the CD drive, and it is a 4-pin header. And now I know it goes in right here. It goes into the CD in of this card. There are a couple of other slots here. So there's the front panel. I guess if we had some front panel I/O, which we don't. Gold F-inch, don't know what that is. There's another connector right there. A mic connection, okay. So it looks like the only thing I'm probably going to need to plug in is the CD in. All right, let's go ahead and move over this Windows 95 USB flash driver. I got this little thing to work on it now. Click yes. And there it is. Okay, let's go ahead and try installing the drivers. Let's open up our 3.5-inch floppy drive. Open up this application. Let's go ahead and unzip to the desktop. Okay. Did I open up the right file? Oh, I should probably install my USB flash drive, and then when it asks me to install the drivers, point to this file right here. So it looks like I only have one slot that I could use. This one I can't use. And so I might have to take away this last one, which I don't really need. It says modem. So it's a modem port. Not going to be needing that, although it does say Gateway 2000 on it. So it is branded, and of course that's my graphics card there, which is a, does that say anything? ATT Technologies Inc. Something. Not sure the brand of that, but I'm just going to take away this one. Of course, I'm not going to throw it out, but we'll see. We'll keep it somewhere. Okay, good news is that I don't have to remove that one, which I already did, so I'm going to put it back, because this needs to get installed up here in these larger slots. And you know what? There might have been a sound card in here already, now that I'm thinking about it, because you see this is missing. So I'm gonna have to find another screw, and you could see there is a mismatched screw. This one has a mismatched screw as well, so definitely someone came in here and tinkered a bit. I just wish they also replaced that thing for me, but I guess we'll keep pushing through. Okay, so this is the C2-970, which, if I can find it, is the Sound Blaster 16 drivers, which I have downloaded from the, believe it or not, CNET website. I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. There's also some Game Boy stuff that I'm gonna be doing probably in the future, so keep up to date on that. Let's go ahead and put in our floppy. All right, no light. Okay, so it's giving us this. Let's go ahead and put this in. Driver from disk provided by hardware manufacturer. Let's try that. I believe the A drive is our floppy disk drive. Yeah, so let's see if you can find it. No, it's not gonna find it. It's looking for the INF files. All right, let's just, how do I cancel this? Select from a list of alternate drivers. You see, I don't even know which one it's referring to. If it's referring to the sound card or if it's referring to something else. Let's just do not install and let's install it manually. All right, here's the creative card. Oh, plug in. Let's see. Oh, it wants the Windows 95 disk. Okay, whatever. Let's cancel that. Again, I really apologize for the blinking. I'm recording this on an iPhone. Maybe if I change it to 60 hertz. Let's try changing my monitor to 60 hertz. Let's see if that fixes the line issue or the flickering. All right, how do I do that again? I forgot how to do it. Oh, that's my graphics card, the ATI Graphics Pro. Forgot how to change the display. Is it here? Is it under appearance? Where is it? Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna try to fix the screen flickering so that you guys don't have to see this. installing the sound drivers now. I couldn't, for some reason, fix the flickering. I even changed the monitor. This is the, I don't know if this is a time equivalent Gateway 2000. It looks like this is a 92 monitor, while this computer is 94, so this monitor is a little bit older. But I do like how the logos match and everything. So we're installing the sound drivers. And for some reason, it's not showing up, like my refresh rate, which it did in the beginning, it's not showing up here. And I only have a limited desktop area. So I gotta see what's up with that. Okay, so the sound driver is installed. It is giving me this game port error, which I'm not gonna use the game port, but it's there. But the main thing I need is this one right here. So now I'm going to try installing the PCI card. So let's go ahead and open this up. Again, I apologize for the flashing. Let's see. So I unzipped it in the C drive. Browse. C. USB 95. Okay. Okay. Okay, and I'm getting this error, so we'll see what's up with that. So we're running into a bit of an issue. It looks like I have an earlier version of Windows 95. You see there's no A there next to the 4095, so I'm gonna have to find a way to update that without, of course, wiping the drive. You know, I really don't want to lose anything, because this computer does have Microsoft Office built in, which I want to keep, although I could always reinstall it, so it's not really a big of a deal. But there are some other drivers here that I want to, you know, I don't want to have to dig around for. Yes, we got that modem driver. It does recognize this monitor. So yeah, unfortunately we can't install any USB driver right now. I guess we'll do that later, but I just got to update my version of Windows, and the driver should be there. But right now, of course, it's showing up as a PCI card. Really, ideally, I'd be able to go here, change driver, other devices, have disk, browse, and when you extract the file, it automatically puts it in your C drive under USB 95. Oh, you guys can't even see anything. USB 95, and it should be here. Then you can click OK and install them like that. Okay, so I finally got the display properties to work. It is still flickering just a tad bit, but you can see I have all these new options here. So this is the driver. It's the 64W95303. This has a ATI Mach or Mac or Mach 64. I don't know how to exactly pronounce it. Let me open up Device Manager. So there's the ATI Mach 64 PCI, and then this is the newer one, I guess, Direct Draw driver. And it allows for a bunch of different customizations. I can even pan the screen. You see, if I put in my monitor right here or my display, I can even pan the screen just from these controls. It's really, really cool. It is really, really nice. Although, you gotta be careful because you don't want it to glitch out sometimes. But that's really cool, so I don't even have to use these. I could just use that. Yep, this flickering is gone. I went to refresh rate and I am on 90 hertz. And you know, it's really cool. Again, I'm messing around with the software now. We go to settings here, and you see now I could I get a bunch of different options here, and then I'm running. I like the 800/600 resolution. This isn't a big monitor. In fact, the one right below this, the 640x480, also kind of looked nice as well. But I just get a whole different set of options here. I could change the position, change the size. It lets me know my frequency right there. You can see 90 hertz. There's even the synchronization feature here. Again, I don't know exactly what it does, but there's definitely a whole lot of options here, which is really nice. All right, so I have the motherboard out. I'm going to be replacing this bad boy right here, the Dallas the Dallas clock chip DS12887, and you can see it's excuse me, it's not one of the removable ones. So this is the one that I guess Gateway saved some money on, or whoever the motherboard manufacturers. So this is not the removable one, so we're gonna have to desolder it. Here are the pins, this row and this row, and it looks like I might have to desolder or empty out even the blank ones here, because this one looks like it follows a different pattern. Or does it? Yeah, you see it follows a little bit of different pattern, so it uses up like these. So you can see 3 blank, 3 blank. This one is 3 blank, 3 blank, and then I need 4. Yeah, so it's gonna get soldered into here. The bottom is all filled out here, space 1, all out to this side is all the same. So it looks like we're adding, we're adding an additional 2 technically up there. So I gotta empty out those holes over there. And hopefully I don't damage the board. That's really the only problem right now. You know, even if this doesn't get soldered in all the way, I just don't want to damage another component, because then that just renders this board useless pretty much. And it looks like, yeah, so I just follow the direction that it's in. Once that's in, I could just use this and then put these in. These should last like another 20 years, and then if they do end up dying, I can just replace them. So wish me luck. All right, as suspected, it's a little hard on you. You can see I cleared some of them, and I just really hope that you can see some of the metal bits. Where's my camera? Okay, you can see some of the metal bits that are contacting those lines. Hopefully those don't interfere or anything. That's my biggest worry right now, because that stuff kind of splatters when you suction it, and it hits these. So hopefully I don't mess anything up. So I finally gotten it out. The top one, surprisingly, I just did it the first go and it just plopped down like that. I gave it a little bit of pressure, it came down. This one was a bit stubborn. There were these two that I had a lot of trouble with. One over here, and then even though I got all of them sucked out, it was still stuck. Some small amounts of solder still stuck in there, and so I had to really try to melt them as I'm prying them out, and I only got 2 hands, so I managed to get it out. My only concern right now is that I didn't affect any of these contacts. You could see there's some solder that's splattered in between. I don't know what you'd call these circuit lines here. So that's my only concern, is that something is, there's probably some solder that's maybe connecting these two where they shouldn't be. That's my only concern. So I'll try to clean these up. I don't know if I should just take the solder and put it directly on these to just suck them out. I don't have any of that mesh that you could use to suck the solder out. And I don't even know if I should use that. Maybe that will cause more damage. But that's my only concern right now. But luckily it's out. Now I could plop this guy back in, and we should be ready to go. So this is the Dallas clock chip. Now a lot of people just mod this thing. Essentially, I don't know which side it is, but you can cut into the plastic and you expose parts of the metal, and you just essentially jerry-rig a button battery and solder it into the 2 connection points on here, and essentially hijack that point, because essentially there's a button battery inside this thing. So you're just using the connections. I think you have to disconnect it first and then connect it to the your own button battery. I just thought that was janky, and it's very, you could easily damage it if you cut in too much. So, and these things exist, right? If the adapter that I had did not exist, of course I'd be resorted to doing this, but I don't know why people just don't buy those for like 30 bucks rather than spending all this time and energy trying to mod this thing. But yeah, this is going in the trash. So apparently those little pieces of solder, I kind of just went like this with my finger and they started coming off. And then I got some rubbing alcohol. This is not like a high percentage, unfortunately. This is only 91%. So hopefully that doesn't affect anything. But with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a little bit of my fingernail to just scrape some of this out, I managed to clean it up pretty well. So let's go ahead and get this hooked in. Okay, so there it is, hooked in like that. And now I just gotta add some solder. And I believe that is it. It is officially in. Not the cleanest job, but it looks like everything's in there. It's not wiggling at all. It is firm in there. Now it's just time to put in the battery, and let's pray. Okay, it looks like I might want to add some more solder because I could still see gaps on this other side here. You could see that, right? You see those gaps coming in. I think these should be filled in like they are on all the other solder joints. So this one needs to be, I think I need to put in more solder. Okay, so definitely I added a lot more solder. Now you can't even see through. They're all covered. This one, for some reason, I just kept adding solder and it didn't want to fill in. So I just added solder from this side of the board. So I was very careful not to hit anything else, but I managed to get it in. Okay, it's in. Time to plop it into the board and continue praying. Okay, here comes the moment of truth. Let me just go ahead and close this drawer. If this works, this will be amazing. If it doesn't, I think I just ruined a P5-90 motherboard. And I don't think there are any replacements out there. I think I may have seen some that go for like $200-300 bucks. Like, I'm not paying $200-300 bucks for a a motherboard, especially those that don't even have, if I buy one, if I find one that has the replaceable Dallas clock chip, maybe, but if I'm not going to spend $300 bucks on the same exact motherboard. Okay, maybe I could try it again, but then I'm going to be just risking all this money. Okay, let's go ahead and power on the monitor. I like powering on the monitor first. There we go. Monitor's on. Now, I did read somewhere in the forums where they did this. They replaced it, and then it wasn't just like a plug and play thing where that's it. You put in the chip, and then everything was fine. They were still having some issues, and then they had to do a series of steps. Again, I forgot exactly what, but there was some things that they had to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn it on. I'm kind of nervous. Okay, and again, hopefully I plugged in all the wires correctly, but I think I've gotten all that down, so I don't think the wiring, but that could be an issue. If we experience anything, it's probably not, we shouldn't get too concerned right away. Maybe it could just be a misplugged wire or something. All right, let's go ahead and hit this. So far good. BIOS loads. F1 key. Let's go ahead and click F1. Okay, we can enter the setup. This is amazing. Before I wasn't able to enter the setup. It's detecting everything. This is so far great news. Keyboard, mouse detected. Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and F1 for setup. Okay, can I go into the setup? So it didn't give me any Dallas clock chip CMOS failure. So all it says is CMOS system options not set. Now, this is good. Okay, so this means that it's reading the CMOS chip. The only thing is, I think this is exactly what the guy was talking about, is that you cannot get into the BIOS. So even before, when the CMOS, sorry guys, I keep moving the camera around. Even before, when the CMOS chip was dead, I wasn't able to get into the BIOS. I could boot, but I just wasn't able to get into the BIOS. So let me try to restart it. Let's go ahead and hit the reset switch. Before I click anything, let's just let it run all the tests, and then I'm going to click the F1 to run the setup. Because this may be a unrelated issue, the fact that I couldn't get into the BIOS, because I just thought it was because of the CMOS chip, the dead, Dallas clock chip. So let's go ahead and hit F1 right now. Okay, so this is definitely an unrelated error. So maybe I could have gotten into the BIOS beforehand as well. But again, if I hit escape, I can boot into Windows just fine. It's just for some reason not letting me boot into the BIOS. So we'll go ahead. Oh, it's saying please wait. Is that related to me hitting the key? Let's go ahead and give it a second. I gotta check. Let me check back the video to see if it said please wait initially. And we'll see if anything pops up. Okay, so I think this is a success. I'm still not able to get into the BIOS, so it's giving me that CMOS date and time error. Let's go ahead and see what happens if I set the date and time and then restart the computer, just to confirm that this isn't not an error from the CMOS chip, but rather just me having to finagle something to get into the BIOS. Let's go ahead and do not install. Sorry about the flicker. Let me see if let's not show this upon startup. Properties, let's go to my display real quick. Refresh rate. Can we go to 75? We can. Can we go to 85? We can. There we go. 85 looks a lot better. And I think 85 is the highest we can go. If I go to 90. Oh, I can even do 90. Maybe not 100 though. Oh wow. I can even do 100. Okay. Just the monitor. I think the monitor's making a lot of noise. Should I lower it? Okay, let's just leave it at 80 for now. Let me just fix the adjustments. Okay, I think we're good there. Let's go ahead and click apply. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and set the date and time. Control panel. Let me see if my video driver, I think, because I do have a USB PCI slot put in, but I don't have the correct Windows 95 version. I think I mentioned that before. Display drivers, yeah, there it is. I believe this is the right one. Okay, so let's go ahead and go date and time. Let's go ahead and set it to the date and time. So we are in 2023. It is the 26th. It is currently, if I can, 5:33. Okay, whatever. Let's just do that. We are not in the correct time zone. Let's go ahead and do Eastern. All right, let's see what happens if so 5:34. Let's go ahead and shut down the computer. We can technically set the date and time in MS-DOS. We might try doing that. Let's go ahead and just shut it down for now. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it off. Is it 5:30? So let's wait until it's 5:35, and we'll go ahead and turn on the computer. Let me just wait for that. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Yeah, when you're waiting for a minute, this is where a minute feels like an hour. It still isn't 5:35. Come on. 5:35, any second. It still isn't 5:35. Come on. Any day now. Okay, 5:35. Let's go ahead and turn it on. And let's see. So this is still going to give us that CMOS date and time not set. I believe I got to get into MS-DOS. Maybe that might be it, but we'll see. Oh, we're in. I guess we could just set it from Windows. We didn't have to do MS-DOS. All right, this is great. I do have to fix the positioning of this monitor, the yoke, because the image is a little bit rotated to the right, and we don't have any rotation adjustments. Okay, so it should say 5:35, almost 5:36. And there it is. The time is being kept. We have succeeded, folks. Wow. What a journey this was. Right now, I guess the only thing I'm going to do probably, I don't know if it's the same video or another video, is, and I'm definitely going to probably split this up into parts, is to reinstall Windows 95. I'm going to try to reinstall the OSR 2.1 Windows 95 and try to get USB working on here so I can easily transfer programs back and forth. And I'm going to try to remember the drivers that I had. So I have the ATI Mach 64 PCI driver, direct draw. Try to remember some of these drivers, that's fine. This driver, I just have the generic, that's fine as well. This, I can grab the driver for that, NEC CD-ROM drive 260. The monitor, of course, I can grab that as well. Network adapter. This is the USB PCI. That's not detecting. Or it is detecting, it just doesn't have the driver for it. And then here comes the creative sound. Now, this might be the wrong driver because it's giving me this flag here. Oh, you know what? Plug and play, Sound Blaster 60. See, there's two of them. I don't know why there's two of them. Maybe if I just try to remove this one. Looks like a duplicate. It just looks like, yeah, it says the same thing. Alright, and may try to just keep note of this. Plug and play BIOS. Alright, let's try to get into the BIOS live. Let's go ahead and shut down the computer and let's try to get into the BIOS. I'm just hitting F1, just tapping F1. It says entering setup, please wait. Let's see if it actually gets us into the setup. Nice. We are in the setup, folks. Wow. All right, let's go ahead and so this is the first time I delved into the BIOS since I fixed. So we have boot options. Let's go ahead and see what that allows us to do. First A, then C. Okay, so it's booting off the floppy, then the C drive. Boot speed, turbo. Setup prompt. What's the setup prompt? I don't know. Hard disk pre-delay, 3 seconds. Yeah, I think we've succeeded, folks. Wow, this is absolutely amazing. Peripheral configuration. Okay. Advanced chipset configuration. Video palette snoop. Don't know what that is. Power management. Everything is enabled except that. Or what was that hotkey? Okay. Plug and play configuration. Not really sure what any of this stuff is. Okay, security. We have no BIOS security. I didn't really change anything, so let's go ahead and exit discarding changes. Enter. And we should be able to boot right into 95. This is amazing. Wow, we did it, folks. I'm super excited. I really doubted myself with that soldering because I figured I screwed up some of the lines, but those just cleaned up nice and well. So what we're going to do is probably reinstall 95, but the OSR2 version, or the 2. I think it's OSR 2.1 actually, because that's the one that has the USB drivers built in, I believe. And we should be ready to go. Again, my only problem with downloading 95 from scratch is I'm just scared if I don't find some of the drivers. Although there's probably a way to extract them from here. The ones that I've currently installed. But that'll be it, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.